What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Get Fit ASAP podcast. Got a special guest today, Chris Podesto. I've known Chris for about, maybe like 7 years, huh? 8 years? Yeah, probably now.
Yeah.
Chris is a master's game athlete. What else, Chris? Former D1 football player,
Yes.
correct?
Yes.
I mean, why don't you give him a little bit of, what do you call it? A history on yourself a little bit. You're probably doing a little better job than I am right now, huh?
I'll do my best.
All right.
Yeah, I went to Boise State on
nice.
a football scholarship in 1983, and then finished at the University of Pacific. And then after that, I was, I guess what really started CrossFit is I was just going to the gym and finding myself bored, really not setting any benchmarks.
Yeah.
And I heard about CrossFit, and so once I went and did a couple classes, I became addicted to it.
I feel like a lot of people get bored doing the same thing, right, at the regular gym, especially kind of like when I played football. Maybe you can probably agree with me on this one, but you do the same thing over and over, kind of because it's more sport specific and kind of just weightlifting, maybe doing some sprints and stuff like that. But so when you stop football, I got kind of bored of doing that. I was like, well, why am I even doing this anymore? I'm not going to play sports anymore. I'm kind of like, oh, what's next now, right?
Right. No, it's CrossFit was a new frontier about 7 years ago, and again, once I got into it, I became addicted. I still never really cared that much about being a games athlete. I just loved the intensity of the workout, the camaraderie, and really the environment. CrossFit had an environment of encouragement, and you encourage others around you. And so that was kind of new to me. It was fascinating, and it's 7 or 8 years later, and I'm still as addicted to CrossFit.
Yeah, I think, especially when you go like the other gyms, usually everyone's got their headphones on, kind of mind their own business. You might have like a buddy or two you work out with, but the majority of people are like just kind of doing their own thing. It's just a whole different atmosphere when you get in that group setting and everyone's cheering you on, and you're pushing your potential, you're doing things you didn't think you could do before. I think that's what really got me too. And it's also it's competitive, or you can make it as competitive as you want.
Yeah, it's a great peer pressure model, because there's so many times I went to CrossFit and I thought there's no way I can complete this. And then I would look around the room and see people all finding a way to complete it. Some people maybe were fighting a weight issue. Some people were older, but they all found a way to complete it. So that model of peer pressure is amazing. If we could actually emulate that in other businesses, it would be remarkable.
Yeah, for sure. So how did you get started with CrossFit, or did a friend tell you, or?
Yeah, I just kind of heard about it, and then I went and took a couple classes, and it's funny, the first week I did it, I was so nervous to go back because it put my body, even though it's at a capacity for everybody, my nature is to go hard.
Yeah.
So for a while I was a wreck.
Yeah.
I actually had a stomachache pulling in. But after a while, I realized I can do it.
Yeah.
I can do it. Everybody in here is finding a way to complete it.
I'm still alive, right? After I can still come back the next day.
It's amazing, Anthony, and the fitness. I'm 53, and with the exception of some soreness with age and some joint soreness, I can do things. Well, we compete together.
Yeah.
I can do things at 53 that
23 years.
Right.
Different.
Right.
Hopefully, when I'm your age, I'm in as good a shape as you. That I'd be pretty happy with that.
I don't think you have a problem.
You never know, man. But hey, that's a long time. It's 23 more years. But hey, I'll be really, really happy if I am. So, you're in really, really good shape, I think. So, you hang with us in the workouts. So
yeah, that's my benchmark.
That's your there we go. Hopefully, I'll have someone young too, or that's pushing me when I'm that older. Because I'll be like, oh, I don't really care anymore. You probably get married, get fat. No, I'm just kidding.
No, my payback is not all you guys that push me. I'm going to come back when you guys are 50.
Oh, I know.
And see how you guys are doing.
Come on, you little shit. Nice. What do you think that, I guess you only started CrossFit when how old are you? 40, mid-40s?
So 53. Yeah, it's been about 7 years.
45-ish?
Yeah.
So you already started kind of when you're, a master's athlete, I guess, is what it categorized it as. But how was your training leading up to to CrossFit? What were you doing in the regular gym?
In the regular gym, I would just go sit on the monotone bench press and really not make any big strides. Just kind of a maintenance, but I really wasn't going anywhere, and be honest with you, I was really kind of bored.
Yeah.
Once I discovered CrossFit, the other thing I love about CrossFit is there's not a lot of procrastinating.
Yeah.
When the class starts, it starts, and you have 1 hour. And if you can dedicate 1 hour a day to fitness, you can be in the greatest shape of your life. I could have drugged that out in a regular gym for 2.5 hours.
Oh, easy.
Right.
I think that was the biggest difference I saw when I started doing it. First workout I did was Fight Gone Bad, and it's like, I was doing sprints all the time for football, doing the regular weightlifting stuff, but resting like 3 minutes between sets, bullshitting with my buddies.
Right.
But then we did that Fight Gone Bad. I did one round, and it was 5 movements, so 5 minutes just to straight work. And I was like, holy I only did one round.
Right.
I couldn't go. I sat laid on the ground. I thought I was going to puke.
Right.
And I was like, whoa, what is this? I need to do this more. So I thought I was in really good shape. And that was only I was only one round of the workout. I'm supposed to do 3. And I was like, from that day forward, I was like, I need to do this more because I thought I was in good shape. And I just got my ass handed to me.
Right.
But that was the biggest, I think, eye-opening part of it was the intensity of it. I was like, wow, when you don't rest, you take out that rest period, it's like, wow, it really makes the workout harder.
Well, yeah, your RPMs are revved up like they've never been revved up before. What's interesting? You mentioned Fight Gone Bad, and I just did that the other day.
Yeah.
So I'm 53 now, and I had done that in my later 40s, and a good score for me in my later 40s was 280, 300, and at 53, I'm pulling 412s now.
Yeah.
So it's smarter. There's more strategy, and I'm smarter now.
Yeah.
Because I used to do exactly what you did. I would gas out the first round, and then I couldn't do the second and third.
Done. Yeah. No, but and then you're probably in better shape too, huh?
Well,
form is better, probably more efficient, right?
Yeah, I'm just smarter about it now. I actually have a strategy now, and I think to some extent know how to control my breathing.
Yeah.
Which is just maturity in CrossFit.
Yeah.
Because I never had that before. I now know not to chase you on something I shouldn't chase you on, and then take off when I need to.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. That comes with experience, really, I think.
Right.
Just kind of knowing your body, knowing what you can do. I think that's important too, because or even doing stuff that you don't think you can do, when you're pushing your limits, like during an open water or something like that. But you kind of know your pace or what you should be doing or how you should be feeling, which is when you do a lot of workouts or you kind of have that experience of it, and that could really help you in the long run, or not the long run, but just your performance in those workouts where you're not dying out first round or something like that. You're like, okay, no, I'm going too fast. My heart rate's I'm breathing way too hard right now. I got 9 more minutes left in this workout. I need to,
Right.
I already messed up, but
right. That's why I could beat myself.
Yeah.
I would win today the younger, stronger guy of 7 years ago, really through having that knowledge.
No, for sure, I agree. What, as far as your diet goes, you're pretty freaking lean. What's your diet like?
Diet's pretty clean.
Yeah.
Although I'm a big fan of In-N-Out Burger and pizza.
Yeah.
But I would say Monday through Friday, I eat Rose's meals a lot.
Oh, cool.
During my, in the morning I have 3 or 4 eggs. I have some oatmeal. I'm not 100% paleo, but I would say 75%.
Yeah.
And later in the day I have chicken and a yam. Later in the day I have one of Rose's meals, and then I go home to whatever my wonderful wife cooked.
Nice. There you go.
So.
Do you meal prep your yam and chicken, or do you just get that at the store? Or?
Yeah, so it depends whether or not the kids are at our house.
Oh, okay.
Because when the kids are at our house, there's no meal prep left over.
Oh, yeah.
But when they're not there and it's just Kathy and I, then if I cook an extra pack of chicken, I'll put it in a container and bring it to work.
Yeah.
Or have one of Rose's meals as a substitute.
Yeah. Do you ever get tired of eating the same thing, or you switch it up a lot, or?
Yeah, no, I get tired of it. For me, honestly, dinner at night is very enjoyable. Yeah. Really, unless I go to lunch, most of my meals are just like fuel.
Yeah,
I agree. It's like gasoline.
Just put it in the tank.
Yeah.
Who cares what it tastes like?
Right.
I'm hungry.
Right.
If I don't eat right now, my workout's gonna feel like shit. Like,
right.
Yeah.
Right. It's just fuel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you think that plays a big part in your recovery?
Yeah, I think so. I think as I've aged, fuel definitely plays a part.
Can you feel a difference if you don't eat as well? Maybe not enough, or maybe different kind of foods. Do you feel different in your workouts, like maybe the next day? Or
I absolutely do, and I know in CrossFit we're not supposed to say this, but I know I need more carbs.
Yeah.
I like some rice.
Yeah.
Some things that aren't 100% paleo, and when I don't have those carbs, I definitely feel like I'm lacking energy.
Yeah. No, me too. I like to eat carbs. I don't think it's that too big of a problem. You know.
No.
I think it's okay.
Yeah, I think the bottle of wine at the end of the day is probably a bigger problem for me than the carbs.
That's true. That maybe. Yeah. No. I really feel like the carbs help you recover and give you energy. I don't think there's a problem unless you're trying to lose weight, or maybe then you cut back the carbs, right?
Yeah.
But especially for me, I'm not trying to lose weight for sure. If anything, gain weight.
Right.
So I think the carbs will help. Obviously, it's easier to eat carbs in calories than protein. I feel like because it's just easier to digest.
Right. Right.
But yeah, so I feel like it's a little bit easier.
And to be honest with you, I probably train twice a day on many occasions.
Twice? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's more than me.
Yeah.
Sorry, hold on. Oh, there we go. Light turned off in here. Motion detector.
Oh, okay.
I was like, what the hell?
I was wondering.
I wasn't setting the mood, I promise. I wasn't. Chris like, what the hell's going on in here?
I thought you were waving at
What did
somebody.
you sign me up for? How's your training as far as like, I mean, you train twice a day. Is that like a lot of volume for you? Or like, because even for me, I only train once a day.
Well, so I do CrossFit once a day.
Okay.
A lot of times I'll go to In Shape City on my lunch and do some extra cardio. The truth is, it's more of a sanity thing for me. It's middle of my day. I can decompress what's going on at work, watch some news, and kind of a moderate workout. And then I come in and do my CrossFit in the evening with you guys.
So not trying to like set any PRs or anything like that. Kind of just getting the blood flowing.
No, just blood flowing.
Would you think it's almost even more active recovery than anything?
Yeah, it is, and I've noticed my body responds well when I do that. I'm better when I come here in the evening. It just seems to be a lubrication thing.
Yeah, no, for sure. If like especially like probably the past few months or even like this last year, I've been doing more of like just like an hour a day or like of working out, but every day, rather than like say I work out for 2 hours like for 2 days or 3 days and take a whole day off, and then like when I take that whole day off, like I usually wouldn't do anything really,
right? Because
I just like, oh, I'm just gonna rest. Like, I don't feel like doing anything. But now I won't do so much volume in like 2 or 3 days, but I'll just like I think I've worked out every day for probably like 20-something days right now. But I don't do a lot of volume on it, so I'm never getting super beat up.
Right.
But I like it actually because I feel better even when I took like, so say for example I worked 2 or 3 days or worked out for 2 or 3 days, took that day off, right?
Right.
When I came back the next day, I felt even not worse, but like I felt like just like tired, or that first workout kind of sucked. I was like, when I just keep working out like 20 days straight, like I feel better. I think.
Right. No, I absolutely agree. You know, as a masters athlete, you younger guys, you're going to get there at some point. But I think jumping in a pool and swimming 30 laps, some low impact. When you're going to do a double workout, especially at my age, I think some lower impact. Even like when we do some good cardio WODs, we did 40 minutes the other day. Wasn't really heavy, intense lifting, but great cardio. I love those in between.
The heavy weights.
Yeah.
Well, you won't get as sore with those. Really, you're not breaking down as much muscle tissue and stuff like that.
Right.
Do you feel like if you do a lot of weightlifting, it will be harder to recover, or is that days maybe, or a day, or
I'm pretty programmed. I've been doing this a long time, like you have, but I think if I did heavy cleans or heavy snatches every day, eventually, and when you get older, you're going to break down at some point.
Yeah.
So I think part of the strategy I have now is to train smarter. Yeah. When we want to go hard, we go really hard, but in between that, I'm just training smarter so I can last longer.
Yeah, for sure. By training smarter, do you think that's like listen to your body, and like if you feel crappy, you kind of go lighter, or kind of like maybe in the workout, like, oh, I know I shouldn't be doing this many reps because I know if I do that many reps, I'm not gonna be able to work out very good for the next 2 days, or what do you think?
So I think there's a couple things that a masters athlete has. We still have a little testosterone and we still want to compete. So I need to know when you guys are getting just too heavy, and not let my ego trip me up. And maybe you're cleaning, 280, and I have to settle at 230. Yeah. And I just need to know that. Yeah. And I think
that would go for any athlete, really, right? Because if you're gonna work out, your max is 250 or whatever, and mine's 350.
Right.
It's not, but it's you're gonna want to scale it accordingly, probably, right? Like, oh, if that's my 80%, you should probably shoot for something that's 80% of yours,
Right.
to get the same stimulus.
But see, that's being smarter now. When I was younger,
Yeah, it's
I couldn't have handled that. I would have to do what you do.
Yeah.
And so that.
But you know what? I make an argument with that too. 'Cause like some people that are working out with us, I'll make them do what we're doing, even though that goes slower, even though they can't do it as good. But I feel like if they do that, they will get better and start doing it what I'm doing.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
And we've done that together. And so I love the fact that it pushes me. But if it's maybe the third day in a row, that's where I need to say as a master's athlete, oh, Anthony, you beat me down 2 days in a row now. I'm going to do some swimming today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I think for a master's athlete, it's probably even a lot different because I'm more talking about like the other training partners that are a little bit younger. I'm like, hey, you could do it. Just
right.
Who cares if you go a little bit slower, go a little bit less reps?
Right.
Because I'm like, hey, next time now, just try to go a little bit faster. You add one more rep to it rather than going down and weight all the time.
Right.
So the first thing people want to do is go down and weight. But if their form's good, they're looking good at it, they're just going a little bit slower.
Right.
Sometimes I feel like, well, if you want to get stronger, you have to lift the heavier weights.
Put more weight on.
Not all the time too, but I think a lot of people shy away from that or use it as an excuse not to lift as heavy.
Right.
I always think about like if I went to go train with like a games like Froning or Fraser or something like that, I'm gonna try to do what they're doing because if I do what they're doing, I'm gonna get better, right?
Right.
So I try to do what they're doing. That's what I think about it. At least.
I agree. And you know what I love too. Throughout my whole CrossFit career, I've trained with younger guys that are better than me, as good, in many cases better. They've never given me a master's title.
There we go.
Our weights are the same as yours till I hit the next bracket.
Sure.
So they've made me better because they say, hey, old man, there's no slack here. Go,
yeah, that's
go.
True.
And so, no, I completely agree.
Yeah. As far as the training goes, do you think if someone was new that was coming into CrossFit, at an older age, let's say 50 or 45 or something like that, what advice do you think you'd give them as far as maybe recovery or volume or, they don't really have any experience? I know you had a lot of experience working out basically your whole life.
Yeah.
So you kind of had that good, different kind of mindset, I guess. What would you think you'd say those people were?
Well, it's for everybody. My wife, who has had no athletic experience, loves CrossFit. As a matter of fact, she's going to sign up for your master's class you guys have coming up. See, it's for everybody. And I tell, I even have a sister who's battled some weight issues. And I tell her, first of all, if you're battling a weight issue, everybody in here thinks it's amazing that you're in here going for it to lose weight. People are proud of that. It's nothing to be ashamed of. It's the fact that you're in here.
I give those, exactly. I give those people even more credit because they're off their ass
100%.
doing something. I mean, I give them a lot of credit because it's, I think it's easier for me. I'm already in shape. It's probably easier for me to go in there and work out. Maybe, right? I'm doing harder workouts and stuff, but at least motivation-wise, it's got to be harder to do to come in there being uncomfortable. They're not used to being uncomfortable. Not used to, you're getting out of your comfort zone as far as even just getting in the gym and working out.
Right.
Being sore, like that first soreness you get. I feel like it's harder for people. So if they're even in here, like, dude, you're doing great. Like, it's hard to tell them that, and they think I'm lying to them. But I'm like, dude, you're doing so good. Like, I'm proud of you.
No, and everybody in here respects it and thinks it's great. So, I think CrossFit is for everybody. I mean, you and I are both games athletes, and so we've taken it to another level. But the truth is, your average person doesn't need to take it to that level, probably doesn't even want it. My wife could care less about the games.
Yeah.
She just wants to come in here and be fit and feel good and look good. Yeah. So I would say for most people that haven't got caught up in it like we have, it's just a great workout. I mean, you stretch, you work on mobility. It starts at a finite time and it ends at a finite time, and you will complete it successfully at whatever pace you go at, which is perfectly fine. Because you're right, the box is here. If you're the last one to finish, sometimes you get more accolades than the first one. Quite often you do. Yeah. So
I totally agree.
Yeah.
And especially for if they're starting out, they get that. It's hard to start. That first week or so, it's hard for people. So when they get in here and I always tell them, hey, when you start, come 5 days in a row. I don't care how sore you are. We'll just stretch all out if you need to. Because they do that first day, soreness, don't come back for 2 days. I'm like, dude, that's the worst thing to do. You gotta get that blood flowing again. You gotta get the
lactic acid out.
Oh yeah, it's hard to do.
The first week, I remember the first week I ever did it, laying in bed having a hard time, almost like I was in an auto accident.
Well, especially for us, because like we're used to going hard.
Right.
So like we do something new, your body's like, well, I'm gonna go hard, right? Because it's not that bad right now. But it's like shit. Your body's like, hey, we never done this before. The next day, and you'll know because we're gonna push it, way harder than however we're used to pushing it in regular stuff or different stuff. But
And you're touching muscles you've never touched before.
exactly,
Right.
and you're like, holy shit. Like, for example, I did the GHDs. I think I did like 50 of them, or no, maybe even 100 of them one day. First time I did it, I literally couldn't roll out of bed for like 4 days. I was like, oh, I couldn't even roll. I couldn't laugh. I was like, holy shit. Like, the first day wasn't even that bad. It was like DOMS for sure. Second day was getting a little worse. I was like, oh shit. Third day I was like, holy crap. I'm like, all right, it's got to feel better tomorrow. Fourth day was still, I'm like, holy, it's never gonna get better, dude. I was like really kind of worried about it, but
Right.
next time I did it, I didn't even get sore at all. So it's kind of weird, but
Right. No, we've been down the same road. I get it.
hopefully get acclimated that fast to everything, but usually not.
Right.
So I know you went to the games. What was that? 2014?
15.
Cool. Nice. Just for everyone out there, very, very few people will go to the games. I don't know, even like top 1% of probably games athletes or whatever, or sorry, CrossFit athletes. I want to give a little experience of like kind of how you got started in the games or how you got started in competing.
Yeah,
That was a funny story. I think you told me earlier. So.
Yeah. There's a couple stories competing. It was never my desire to be a games athlete, and I didn't care that much about it. But I guess I understood that I had some strength and some athleticism, and so I was talked in, and I'm not sure how, to go to the NorCal Masters, and my wife and daughter went, and I think it was in probably 2009 or so, and I took like 9th or 10th place. I did horrible. And so much so that my wife and daughter were embarrassed.
Oh my! I feel like that's not that bad. You're still in the single digits.
That was terrible on the rower. I didn't go legs, arms, legs. I was just gassed out, going as hard as I could. And I remember looking at my wife's face like she was embarrassed. And as I was walking out, a gentleman came up to me and said, "Hey," a pretty famous coach in CrossFit, Mike Fitzgerald, came up to me and said, "Hey, do you mind if I say something to you?" I said, "Sure." He said, "You want to hear the good news or the bad news?" I said, "Well, let's start with the good." He said, "You're one of the better athletes in here." I said, "Well, that's great," but I took 9th. It didn't feel like it. He said, "Well, here's the bad news. You don't know what the hell you're doing. You start out at 110%, you end at 30, and you're a spaz, and your technique is awful."
You're all thanks, man. I'm just kidding.
Right. So, anyway, I thanked him for his candidness, and anyway, later on, I still at that point had no interest in the games, and I think in 2014, my wife was watching the games on television, and I said to her, as a husband says to a wife, only I could say,
"Yeah, you're
I'm
talking crap."
I'm way better. Let's turn this off. I'm bigger. I'm faster. I'm stronger. I'm better than all those guys. And she looked at me like,
Did you believe that?
I truly believed it.
Nice.
I truly believed it. I absolutely knew it. I just didn't care.
You kind of knew the potential you had, at least, or
I think so. Yeah. Maybe ego, but I think there was some potential.
Confidence, maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe a little bit of everything.
Probably a combo.
Yeah.
But a wife, as only a wife could do, she looked at me, and she said, and I'll never forget this. She goes, I said I'm bigger, faster, and stronger, and I could beat all those guys. And she looked at me, as only a wife could do, and said, "Apparently you can't. We're watching them on ESPN, and you're sitting here crying about it on the couch." and that was brutal, right? That's like, I don't know what other insult you could add to that, right? I could think of one other insult. But anyway, so I called up OPT at the time, Mike Fitzgerald, and said, "Hey, you remember you talked to me?" He said, "Yeah." I think he asked me if you're still a spaz. I said, "Yeah." I said, "But
so you gonna help me?
Can you help me? I want to go to the games. I will go to the games. If you will coach me for a year, I'll go to the games." And he said, "I really don't have any openings right now. I really don't want you." He said, "But if you'll send me I'm going to send you 4 tests. Cool. And I want you to videotape them and send them to me with times attached." And I sent him those, and he told me the next week, "I'll take you."
Nice.
And then we made it to the games that year. I think finished 9th.
So did you do the Open? That was 2014, or sorry, 2014, and you went to the games? Sorry,
I was at the games in 15.
15, sorry. And did you do the Open in 2014?
Yes.
What did you get that year?
You know,
roughly, or
yeah, I don't remember. I've been in the. I think.
Did they have an online qualifier back then, or how they do it at Masters back in the day?
I think it was we
have
had to send in online qualifiers. I'm not sure way back when. The first year I ever did the Open, I was one muscle up away from going to the games.
Oh shit!
What
year was that?
Well, I think we had to do like 150 wall balls and then double unders.
90 double unders, 30 muscle ups.
Yeah, and then you had whatever time remaining to do a muscle up, and I just stood there for 3 minutes trying to do one and couldn't do one, and then you know, last year the year I went to the games, I actually ripped my bicep off, and I had about 2 months to heal, and it healed, and then last year. I was on a really good track and herniated a disc in my back. So
what was that? Just tweaked it a little bit, or bad form, or just pushing too hard? You knew it was bad and kind of like, oh, F it, I'm gonna do it.
Yes.
Risk you took,
Yes, all of the above.
No, sometimes, hey, if the risk is worth the reward, sometimes you let it go a little bit, but most of the time you want to, obviously in training, but if you go in the competition for it, it's kind of like, all right, I'm going hard.
Yes.
Kind of have that set in your head already. Hey, I'm going hard. I don't care what happens after. But
you know, it's funny. The year I tore my bicep off, the doctor said, "There's no way this is silly," and I said to him on my final visit, you know, what percentage do you think this will tear? What percentage is it healed? And he said about 70%. He goes,
tore?
No,
or
70% healed.
Okay, yeah.
And then, you know, I don't know if you remember that year we had to open up with a max clean and jerk. And so I figured it would rip off again, but it hung on and it made it, and he did a great job with the surgery. So.
Oh, you had surgery on it?
Oh yeah.
How's it feel now?
It's amazing.
Really nice.
Yeah.
Do you have any So I'm guessing you've been squatting and bench pressing and freaking deadlifting probably most of your life.
Yes.
How do you feel as far as like overuse injuries, maybe something like that? You know, from doing those movements over and over and over. Do you have any injuries, like really bad injuries?
Yeah.
Not like the acute ones that have been like, you know, bad form or something like that, but kind of the overuse injuries.
Yeah, wear and tear.
Wear and tear, yeah.
Yeah, I'm limited on cartilage, and I had multiple surgeries playing football in college. So
really?
Probably three knee surgeries.
Oh wow. Blew it out or cartilage? Or?
Yeah, and you know, every time they extract some cartilage that's displaced, it doesn't repair itself.
Yeah.
So I would say the greatest vulnerability is just, you know, I've been hard on my body throughout my whole life. So, but I have to tell you, I feel fabulous right now.
Yeah.
So.
Do you think there's a fine line between, obviously, staying in shape and giving your body a good workout, and then like overusing it? Because like if I don't do anything, I almost feel worse than freaking overdoing it. You know what I'm saying? Or like.
Anthony, I'm gonna use it till I lose it. And if I need a new knee 5 years down the road, then so be it. But in the meantime,
well, at 60 years or whatever, you know, at 58 years old,
right?
That's you got your life out of it probably.
Right. I'm gonna enjoy.
Your mileage.
I'm gonna go down swinging.
Yeah.
So I'm good with that. I know what the consequences are.
Yeah. But I don't think. I only think that happens like so. For example, what I think about is like Froning. I mean, he works out, you know, how many freaking times a day? I don't know. He's got a lot of mileage on his, you know, on his body. I'm like, I wonder if that's sustainable for the long haul. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, he's one of the best competitors ever.
Right.
So he's got to do more. He was great because he did more than everyone else.
Right.
But I'm wondering, like, even with my training, it's like, do I need to do all those reps? Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, I wonder if it really helps me. I'm kind of thinking more long term now.
Yeah, right.
You know, so it's hard to say. I don't really know. I don't have any injuries or anything like that. Like I feel great. Everything feels great. Like 90% of the time. Although I'll be sore and I'll have like little aches and pains if I, you know, whatever.
Right.
But shoot, other than that, I have no complaints right now. But you know, if I get older, I'm 30 now. So if I'm 50, if I'm working out 2 hours a day doing 100 thrusters or 100, you know, heavy squats 3 times a week, I wonder if that's gonna ever add up. You think so?
Yeah, I think that's where we have to train smarter, right?
Yeah.
I can still probably squat 400 pounds, but there's really no reason for me to do that.
Exactly.
I can get 225, and really, quite frankly, if I'm not in a competition, I may not even need to break parallel. I could get a box out there and go to the box slightly above parallel, and then when the competition comes and I need to break parallel, I'll break parallel.
Yeah.
But I think there's things we can do like that kind of slow down wear and tear, and then you know, just
advances in technology too.
Well,
right?
that's what I was going to say.
Yeah.
Hopefully, stem cell research or something they'll grow some cartilage down the road.
Froning actually just got stem cells injected into his knee.
Right.
He said it was crazy. It feels like a brand new knee.
Well, and I'm
I was
researching
like, wow.
that now.
No, I've listened to like a lot of podcasts about it. Said it was crazy, like good. So I think it have like 2 different kinds of it. I don't really get into it. I don't know a lot about it, but there's 2 different kinds. One's like banned in either the United States or California for sure. And it's not the good kind. The good kind, you have to like go somewhere else to get it. But you can just go do a little research on it. I just remember listening to a podcast and it said that. I actually think it was Mel Gibson. He had his dad do it because his dad like couldn't even move.
Right.
And got like stem cells. It was I believe it was on the Joe Rogan podcast. I believe. But I listened to that one and he's talking about his dad got it and he's like freaking total night and day.
Well,
it was crazy. I was like, wow.
And you know, that's great to hear because I would tell you muscles aren't the problem. It's really joints.
Yeah.
So if that is effective and working, then back to your point about how old can you be and continue to do it?
Yeah.
I think till I'm 70.
Yeah.
80. I don't know, but yeah.
I mean, I still think it's better to do that because you're gonna feel so much better than not doing anything, right? Oh, I don't want to do anything because I might get hurt or I might have an injury or my knee might hurt 30 years. I might do, but you're gonna feel so much better for 30 years rather than feeling like crap not doing anything.
100%.
And you know, even like I just said before, like when I don't do anything, I feel way worse. I feel tight. I feel my neck starts hurting. My back hurts. I go out and do something. I feel better like instantly almost. It's crazy. It's weird.
I completely agree. No,
Yeah.
That's why, you know, truthfully, rest days are probably appropriate, but I really don't take any. And if I take a rest day, there's an
You're really beat up, or you're busy that day, right? That's what I do.
Right.
If I'm busy, freaking, I gotta go out of town or something.
Right.
I'll take a rest day. Like, all right, dude, what the hell's going on?
There's probably an active recovery involved for me, you know, because I can't not do anything.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
No, even when you go on vacation, like I'm not gonna set any PRs or anything, but I'm gonna do something like wake up early.
Right.
Hopefully, maybe go to an affiliate there, or even if I'm at the beach, just go do a run, do some calisthenics or something like that. But sorry, I think we got away from the games. I just wanted to know the difference of, you know, when you started doing that, being serious with the training when you went in Fitzgerald, how much better you got in that one short year. Because I was trying to say, if you go in 2014, if you got like 200th place and then you got 9th place.
Right. Yeah. So I did improve a lot, and it's not like I couldn't have made those improvements in the box. I guess the difference was he forced me to work at the things that I sucked at, and so when he saw my double unders were awful, he had me doing more double unders, and I by nature shied away from them because I knew I was awful at them.
Yeah.
So I think it's that refinement that. See, there's a lot of great athletes out there, but in CrossFit, if you don't fine-tune those special skills,
you can't suck at anything.
Right, and it just continues to get more competitive.
Yeah,
so
that's kind of like where I'm at right now. It's like I think it was so much stronger to be even close to, you know, like the games or individual.
Right.
Like they're snatching like, I think like I watched that Redemption movie or The Dominant and Redemption and Redeemed. Sorry. Have you watched that one?
I have not seen it.
It's on Netflix. You can check it out. It's pretty good. It's about basically last year's games, about Frazier and Tara Toomey. But it was talking about how they. Sorry, I just lost my train of thought.
The movie?
Yeah.
Shit. How strong they are and all. How
yeah. Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
I think I forget which guy did it, but he snatched like 282 and he got like 7th place. I'm like, what the hell, dude?
Yeah.
Snatching 280 and you're getting 7th place. I'm like, dude, I literally have to gain like 30 pounds of muscle. Freaking, I've been this weight for like 10 years. Like, it takes so much work to get to that level now, where it's like, oh, I'm just doing it for fun now. Or a team, it's a little bit different. But even team now, it's still super hard. But
it's legit. It's like the NFL or anything else. I think. I think I've been blessed for some genetics in CrossFit, but you know, I'm 5'9", 205, right? So I think there's some of the frame that's helped me there. Yeah, there are smaller guys that, you know, in the NFL I played in college. There were bigger, faster, stronger guys. That's why I didn't advance. And I think in CrossFit, definitely. It's making those same strides. But you know, the team. I mean, you guys made it last year as a team, and that's amazing. And don't sell yourself short.
Oh yeah,
that's amazing.
Yeah, it was really fun too. It was cool.
Yeah,
it was good.
Yeah,
but just like pure volume wise too, of the individual between teams, like I mean, I wasn't even actually in the games I was pretty beat up, but in the regionals I was like, the workouts weren't very hard. they were hard, but the volume was really small because you have 6 people doing a workout. I mean, you can only work out for so long without,
Right.
I'm only doing 2 minutes of work each workout, so it wasn't too bad. But like an athlete, I just remember when I was an individual, it's like, holy shit, like you're beat up at the end of the, that weekend. I can only imagine the games. I was like chilling, because we worked out in the morning at the games. And hang out for the rest of the day, watch the individuals, and they had like 3 more workouts. I'm like, oh shit! Like that one day when they had to do the whatever that workout, the last open workout, I believe it was 9 thrusters, 30 double unders, 10 rounds.
Right.
And I was like, I think it was at 125 for the thrusters. I was like, damn, 90 thrusters at the end of the day, like just this. I'm like, oh my god, that would just be I was so happy I wasn't there, but I was like, I could just watch them.
That's a bad day, right? But again, it goes back to what we talked about. It seems like mission impossible, but you would have achieved it. And once you're there, you just do it because
you don't have a choice.
Everybody else is.
Yeah,
you don't want to be the only guy that's not.
That peer pressure.
Yeah.
That's true. You don't think about it. It's like, all right, here we go. I remember one time I was at the OC Throwdown. Maybe 2013, something like that. And one of the workouts was it was a 3-mile run, and the first mile you had to carry 2 kettlebells, 50-pound or 53-pound kettlebells. You drop one off, you do a mile with this one. You drop one off, do a mile without it. And I was like, dude, this is so stupid. Like it's not even a good workout really. It's just miserable. Like you can't run really. Like your grips just tired the whole time. It was just a shitty workout. It wasn't designed very well.
Right.
But I just remember like, God, I was like super negative about not really negative about it. Cause I was like, all right, I'm doing it. Here we go. Like figure it out. But I was like, oh man, I would never ever do this ever unless they're making me do it right now.
Right.
Because this is miserable. And
right.
But I'm glad I did it because I was like, all right, I did that now.
Right.
But I'm gonna probably never do it again. But
such as CrossFit.
Exactly. It's like,
it's funny about CrossFit because I would tell you, we've done some 40-minute WODs and 50-minute WODs, but nothing, upsets my stomach more than you saying, hey, we're going to do Fran. And I can do that in under 3, and I know you can do it in probably under 2, but sometimes those little workouts are just insane. Yeah. I mean, they pump you and intimidate you in ways.
Yeah.
I would rather do a 40-minute slow workout than a 3-minute Fran.
Just the intensity of it.
It's so intense.
Yeah, it's like
RPM's buried in the red the whole time.
Yeah, just pain.
3
minutes of pure pain,
Right.
Rather than like 40 minutes of kind of being a little uncomfortable.
Right.
It's just totally different stimulus, basically.
Right.
Or you get a bad one that's like 40 minutes and you're freaking. It's hard the whole time. Then you're like, fuck.
You mean like last Sunday?
You're like, yeah, that was like 30 minutes, but yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
So I know you went to the games. How was that experience like for you?
It was amazing. Again, it's not something that I had necessarily strided to do. I think as an athlete, getting a scholarship was what I always wanted from childhood. And you and I being smaller athletes, we have to fight really hard and overcompensate for our size in many cases. So. I had that work ethic. I knew what it was to work hard and compensate for the inadequacies. But the experience was amazing. When you come out of that tunnel, and I knew I belonged there. I knew I was that caliber. So I didn't feel intimidated. But the truth, I didn't feel intimidated by the athletes. But there was a little intimidation by the crowd. But yet, the other thing about the games.
I didn't see the crowd at all, man.
You didn't see them?
No. Not at all.
I would tell you the other thing that
I'm nervous like coming out, but like literally right when I start, it's like I don't even hear anything.
Yeah, well, and you're right. I didn't see him really when I was out there, but when I walked out the tunnel, I just went, now I got to do this in front of all these people. But I think the other aspect of it that is interesting is your community gets behind you. You get love from so many people. I had emails and people saying we're so proud of you. Not only your parents and your friends, but just the community as a whole. I mean, you represented Lodi and ASAP, the community of Lodi and Ripon, but Dixon, and I had that same support, and it was really overwhelming in a good way. Like made my heart feel really good. Yeah. Not arrogant, not about self, but about I don't want to let down my community.
Yeah, no, for sure. And then what place did you end up getting?
I ended up 9th.
It's 9th in the world.
Yes.
That's a pretty good accomplishment.
Yes.
That's pretty good, dude. Are you still training for the games? Obviously, yes.
Yes. This year was an interesting year. I had a really good year, and then we had a mishap with a video, and so I went from 15th in the world in the video regionals to 21st in the world. So I'm sitting at 21st right now. They take the top 20 athletes in the world, so it's a
close. Hopefully someone's bailing out.
Yeah, if somebody bails or is injured, and I don't wish injury on anybody, but if they are, then I'm happy to take their spot and be there.
For sure.
21st is a miserable spot to be in. 38th or 42nd would be
you
fine.
You have to worry about it, right? You're like, all right, I ain't gonna make it.
Yeah, and then from knowing you kind of made it to a technical mishap is tough, but I think sometimes it just makes you fight harder and be a better person.
Well, I was gonna say that I guarantee you come top 10 next year. Then, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's
you
funny.
Can do it.
I'm kind of I will, and I'll fight.
And it doesn't matter if you don't turn into fucking a video at all. You still make it,
Yeah. No, it's I think just like you, I've nothing's ever came easy, and it's just going to make me that much more determined. So
no, for sure.
And then when I hit that 55-year-old age bracket,
oh yeah,
then I'm going to come in swinging.
The weight's a little bit lighter.
It's girl weight, and I don't mean I don't mean that bad, but it's the lighter. It's the girl equivalent weight, which
70% ish.
Yeah, which I feel like I'll just throw the dumbbells to the roof.
Yeah, no, for sure. I mean, do you think you are a stronger athlete? Do you think that would maybe not be as beneficial for maybe you, or do you think it's still going to be?
It's funny you say that.
You're good at cardio too, but you're strong.
Yeah. So that lighter weight. So I think the difference is I can move it fast, but one might argue that metabolic will come into it too. So maybe I'll lose a few pounds. I don't.
That's true. Yeah. That's true.
So strength will always help in CrossFit, and with me, it depends on the WODs. I've had.
But they do heavier weights also. I think they do maxes in that also. So it's just I feel like strength's never a weakness.
Yeah, no, I hope so, because strength is where I usually separate myself from the pack.
Well, I remember the one workout you're snatching 165 pretty easily. I don't think a lot of masters athletes can do that.
We took a number one in the world in that workout.
Yeah,
you judged me.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And rep me many times. So
not that many. It was a couple. It was a few.
Anyway, no, that was a great. No, I think that'll still be there as long as I'm healthy.
No, for sure. Do they do less technical stuff when you get in that higher like are they doing? I don't know if they do legless rope climbs or something like that, but rope climbs, muscle ups, are they still doing that at 55?
Yeah, it's funny. CrossFit's made huge advancements, so I would have argued.
Well, everyone's getting better.
Right. I mean, in years past, you probably wouldn't have had a 55-year-old muscle up. Now they're there.
Yeah.
Because 55-year-olds can do them. So I think as CrossFit evolves and the athletes continue to get better, I think the same stuff will be there.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't even be shocked if they at 55 increase the weights a little bit.
Yeah.
Because there's so many good
athletes. Well, they're always
athletes.
trying to push the envelope, right? And then you got that younger crowd going up. They're still used to doing that heavier weights. They're still used to doing those harder movements. They're probably still going to want to do it.
Right.
When they get older too. So, yeah, I don't. And like I said, it's always evolving. It's going to get harder every year. That's the nature of the beast. But so I don't see them stopping that at all.
No, it's going to get tougher every year.
Yeah. Nice. I mean, I think that's basically it. You got anything else you want to touch on, or?
No, I just want to thank you. It's an honor to be here, and
I think your insight can help a lot of people out. An older athlete still in really, really, really good shape. I feel like a lot of people, even when they're older, they're apprehensive to start working out and stuff like that, or don't think they can do it. And I just think they have the wrong idea on it. And also, just even the perspective of going to the games, where so many few people do it, I think you give a unique perception on that. So I think it's good to let them know.
Yeah, no, I think CrossFit's for everybody. Again, I said I have a sister that's battled weight, and and I hope she doesn't watch this spot. I might get in trouble, but no, the truth is,
So
I'm
I
proud
talk
of her.
crap to my dad. Talk crap to my.
It's for everybody, and again, you come in. There's a great environment. They cheer you on. You can do it.
Yeah.
You don't think you can, but you will, and then you'll be so happy with yourself when you've completed the workout.
Exactly.
So no.
Yeah. Do you have anywhere to follow you? I don't know if you're on social media that much, but if anyone wants to follow you or take you out your training, do you post any videos or something like that, or not really? Or
I don't post anything.
okay, so if you want to follow him, you gotta come down to the gym and watch him. You know what I'm saying? You're not gonna sit.
We'll work out together.
Yeah, there we go. But for us, you can follow us on Instagram _ASAPFit_. Follow our YouTube channel, ASAP Fitness. Subscribe to our iTunes. We're gonna post the video obviously on iTunes, just the audio, and then video on YouTube. Tag a friend, leave a comment. If you guys want to hear anything else specific next episode, let us know. Other than that, I think that's it. Thanks, Chris.
Thank you.
No problem, man.
All
See
right.
you guys next week.